Hey, what's up you guys? This is Junior Trader, and in this video, let's take a look at Tesla. It had its earnings today. We'll take a look at Nvidia, AMD, S&P 500, and NASDAQ 100 in this video. Lot to talk about. Market, well, Tesla actually earnings were terrible. The report that came out, however, price action is still looking strong, and also across the board in the post market, most of the, well, pretty much all the stocks are also going up, just on the news that, well, Trump is a little bit easing up on the market. They are coming out talking about, hey, yes, we want to make a deal, and he's not going to fire Jerome Powell and all that stuff. Anyways, we'll take a look at the technicals, important stuff, and let's get ready on how do we trade the structure, how do we trade the levels across these instruments. Now, before going further, I also want to let you know, none of this is any financial advice and it's only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion, nothing more than that. Please do your own thing. Not sure if I mentioned, but we'll take a look at S&P 500 and NASDAQ 100 as well. Let's start off with Tesla. Not going to go too much in detail on the earnings side, but because we'll focus on the technicals and across the board, well, it's really terrible. They missed earnings by 34%, EPS, I mean, and then revenue by 9.10%. They missed by that. And price action, actually, I'm surprised. Let's go to the 5 minutes interval. Now you can a little bit ignore this last part over here of the spike. This was more across the board on all the stocks, just because Trump is a little bit easing up on the market. But here, during the earnings, I mean, with that, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm choking on this thing. Wow, this thing stayed pretty much flat, quite interesting after all that bad earnings with no guidance, actually, technically. Things are still just fine. He does says that he will a little bit scale back on the Doge starting next month, but that news didn't come overall technically until he was on the earnings call right away. Here, this is where he talked about it. But anyways, who knows? Insiders may already know that this news is going to come out. Not just insiders, but close relations with all the big institutions and everything. And they decided to just keep the stock held up over there. But anyways, the point being, we have technicals in our hand. What do we watch moving forward going in tomorrow on Tesla? Let's get to the hourly interval. Technically, we are on the intraday and multi-day in an uptrend play. All right. So we can actually still play this to an uptrend as long as we continue to even hold above $240 at this point. No problem, any pullback until $240, as long as we hold that level. Our bias is on an uptrend intraday at least, and multi-day on Tesla. I won't go more than intraday and multi-day. If price action continues to hold on those intraday multi-day, overall structure will also turn around just fine. Otherwise, not necessarily. We'll have to wait and watch where things will turn around for the long term. I just want to show you another tool for the day trading purpose. If you have access to my tools, you already know today was also a great trading day on Tesla. We opened up really strong above the cloud, stayed in the bullish structure. This is where you got to size down your position and then go back again in. This is where we are retracing back closer to the cloud. And all in all, it was still a great both-sided play, long and short. My tools gives you all this clarity. If you need access to my tools, you can check out the details in the description of this video. Also, while I'm on this topic, I traded S&P 500 as well using my tools, which, I mean, I used my same tools that I provide to you guys as well. And using this tool, you can see such a nice play. Entered when the market opened above the cloud, strong bullish play, and I got the meat of the move pretty much the whole day today. And then this is where structure broke. I didn't trade the short because if we were above the cloud, overall sentiment was bullish, and this is where the reload started to happen. Got a next great move as well. As I say, if you need access to my tools, you can check out the details in the description of this video. These tools works on all the instruments, all the intervals, helps you in identifying how to trade, where to play the long, where to play the short, where to have a stop loss, where to take the profits, everything. And there are multiple tools. I'm just showing you one, and one is already turned on my screen. Anyways, all the details are in the description of this video. getting back to Tesla, as I said, that level particularly, we intraday and multi-day, we can still look for an uptrend play, and eventually for the long term though, I want to see it get above $252. As if it can close above tomorrow 252 or 253 area, it opens up the door to 276 for the end of this week. Not gonna go more than further beyond that right now. I want to see tomorrow how Tesla closes. If it can close above 252 and 80 cents tomorrow, 277 is a possibility by the end of this week. Our bias, as I said, is to an uptrend right now as long as we continue to hold above $240.70 area. All right, that's all what we are watching. Next is Nvidia. Everything in the post market is going up, and so however right now, well, we will have to get to the hourly interval right away, guys. Let's get to that. Actually, all the clarity is over there. Now, intraday, yes, we should still look intraday, multi-day in an uptrend. We are holding a good higher low pivots on the near term, and we can still trade this thing to an uptrend. As long as Nvidia continues to hold above now $100, our bias needs to be to an uptrend intraday, multi-day as well. On the swing side, long term though, I want to see a little bit more stabilization, at least tomorrow close above $100, but I would only get on the swing long-term bullish again if Nvidia closes without breaking further below above 104 and 80 cents. All right, that's to watch on Nvidia. Let's get to AMD. AMD though, guys, has to do a lot more effort to get full on the long-term bullish. That would be if AMD can close above $100. We'll have to get there, and then only I consider this overall we are fine. But can it be traded intraday and multi-day on an uptrend? Let's get to the hourly interval. Excuse me. Now on the intraday and multi-day side, though AMD is also showing a higher low at our significant level marked by my tools automatically for you, it's showing a support there and a higher low. I will still a little bit raise a caution because we do have another downgrade today on this thing, and everyone, like you can see Bernstein also from 125 to 95. There was another 140 to 110 today. Barclays. So AMD is, everyone is very hard pounding on this thing to the downside. So I gotta just let you know, be a little bit cautious. But as long as AMD can hold above 87 and 52 cents, our bias remain to an uptrend, and better if we just stay above this 200 hours moving average, just rotate it to the upside, but just be a little bit cautious. It's only intraday and multi-day play as long as it stays above those levels for an uptrend. All right, let's get to now NASDAQ 100 and S&P 500. Good comeback. And do we have a final turn around, and are we back in the game? It's in the post market at 451. Technically, yes. As long as now we hold above this blue box again, guys, our bias is back again to an uptrend. All right, that's how simple it is. 450, technically $450 above, our bias remains to an uptrend. Let's take a look at the intraday level for much more clarity. Yep, we took out 442 today, and that was a near-term play as well to an uptrend. 450 above, we are fine. This is technically the zone. As long as we can hold above 447 to 450 area tomorrow, our bias is to an uptrend. If we lose it, intraday weakness can start, and we may retest again 443 area. It's not a swing bearish play anymore, and it's not even. I would my recommendation and just suggestion, do whatever you want to do, but avoid the bearish play on this thing even intraday, especially on these bigger markets. Use the tools. Okay, I just showed you S&P 500 with my tools. I just showed you Tesla with my tools. Right, it makes it so easy to understand how to trade. Even you can plug my tools on hourly interval or whatever level for swing play as well. It will tell you everything. High level though, if I want to just provide you the levels, 447, 450 above, our bias needs to be overall for an uptrend. If we lose that, I'm not overall bearish. Intraday weakness can come until 443, but that won't make it forever or long-term bearish for me. Only if we, let's say tomorrow closes below again 443 on NASDAQ 100, then only I will have a problem with it again. Otherwise, no. S&P 500. S&P 500 also looking strong in the post market as well. 534 is where we are. 534 is right over here, guys. We are back in the game. We gotta stay above the blue box now, and we are back again in the game. Okay, let's get to the hourly interval. And yep, it's that pretty much. It is the simplest way to trade this thing. 529 above, our bias remains to an uptrend. Also until actually 525 area, our bias remains to an uptrend even through the pullback. As long as we hold above 525, our bias, and what we have to look for is a structure on the lower time frame. As when it's bullish, our bias is to look for an uptrend play on those structures. My tools will help you in all of that. As I said, if you need access to my tools, check out the details in the description of this video. That's all I had for you guys in this video, and I'll see you in my next videos, guys. Take care. Bye.